What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. You know how we do. We are now in the mid of February. Happy Valentine's Day. Oh, you know what I haven't said? Happy Black History Month. I ain't even said that. Every day is Black History Month, but that's just me. Shout out to those that are making history, government contracts, and getting jobs, even in the height of everybody getting laid off. People are still interviewing. People still getting jobs in tech. All right. So don't stop interviewing and don't let people tell you that ain't no jobs out here. They out here. You just got to be willing to go get them and have the right skills. I don't know how I could stress that enough. Have the right skills. You're like, Tamika, what's the right skills? Come join us on Mondays. Come join us on Wednesdays. Come join us any day of the week. I tell you about the skills. I tell you what skills you need to have. Bring in recruiters. Bring in people looking to hire you. We do mock interviews. What else do you want from a player? What else do you want from a player? From the Himalayas? Mhm. So, we got a lot to talk about. We do. We got a lot to discuss. To discuss. You know, every time I say that, I be in my head. I be like, kick it, D, kick it, bust it, D, bust it. I found my girl at the playground. Playground. That's what I be having in my head. Don't ask me why I had that in my head. Oh, this must be a serious delay because I'm not seeing them pop up, D. I'm not seeing the comments pop up. I see them on which comment? I don't see them in the thingy. Okay. So I had to look over here for the comments. How did that happen? Was you sleep when you was doing this? What's going on, Don? S. Taylor, Dante? What's going on with you? I am probably going to be controversial tonight. I am going to hurt some feelings. You know how I do. All right, so let's get going. So across Sasha Fierce internet, I have been seeing so much rhetoric. What have I been seeing? I have been seeing don't invest into your 401k. I saw the earn your leisure joint where they're like in the comment sections where people are like, don't invest into your 401k. It's a scam. And then the other one I seen is just in on different outlets, not even just on EYL, is don't invest into your don't invest into real estate. Don't buy a house. Now, I just knew when the article hit that women are buying more houses than men. I knew the next thing was gonna be buying a house is a scam. I already knew it. I was just waiting for to see how it was gonna get played out, how it was gonna get flued out. I just wanted to see what it was gonna be like. I knew it was gonna be a mess. So why am I discussing it? Because primarily I talk about maxing out your 401k, maxing out your SSA, having multiple streams of income, dual incomes. Don't look for companies that just put in 6% do matches on your 401k. I talk about the ones that are just gonna put into your 401k. I talk about all of that, right? Then I also talk about, hey, how can you use that money to leverage assets? The assets could be stock, it could be gold, it could be silver, it could be REITs, it could be you buy a company, it could be you buy an accounting company, it could be you buy a car wash, it could be a number of things. I talk about all those things. So when I hear don't invest in your 401k, don't do this, don't do that, I'm just like, if I was 25 and I was on these different sites, YouTube, whatever the case may be, I would be so confused. I would be so confused. I would be like, what should I do? I don't know. Do y'all feel that way? Do y'all feel confused? Let me know if you feel confused. Let's see. I think we got a little delay, but y'all let me know. So let me do this. What's going on, Purple Charm? Natasha, what's going on? I know what it said. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Okay, so let me do this. Because I was online uh talking to a guy and he was like, oh, if you need to, if you leave from your 401k, if you leave the company, they're gonna take back your match in your 401k. I was like, ain't nobody never take back my match. What are you talking about? So then he sends me a LinkedIn, an Indeed article where it talks about Clift and invest and Clift and Vested 401k. So again, um I personally never seen that before. I don't know any company that has taken away that in my 401k, but I figured I would bring that to you tonight, and then we're gonna get into some things. We're gonna get into some things. We're gonna get into some things. All right. So let me pull this over to here. Let me get rid of that one there. And let's go here. All right. So now let's present this stuff here. Because I'm all about sharing the knowledge. All right. So here we go. All right. So this is what they consider. Let me scroll up here. cliff vesting for your 401k and how does it work? So let me blow it up a little more here. All right. So an employee is considered vested in an employer sponsored retirement plan or employee stock option plan once they have earned the right to receive benefit from the company from that plan. Cliff vesting is when an employee becomes fully vested on a specified date rather than becoming partially vested in increasing amounts over a period of time. Now, I'm going to say this. You can read when you get your offer letter or when you're in negotiating when from day one, you should ask, how's the structure of the 401k? Is it a 5% match, 6% match? Am I fully vested day one? Do I have to wait 3 months? What is the question? What is the situation there? Now, people who are fully vested, they don't go through this cliff vesting stuff. They don't go through this, right? But I just want to bring it to you so you are aware. Often plans have a 4-year vesting schedule with a 1-year cliff. Under this type of vesting for stock options, and that's what I was like. I was like, yeah, are you talking about stocks? Because I'm talking about a 401k. For example, 1 year of service, an employee would get 25%. That's the vesting schedule. That's normally what I've seen. I have not seen it for a 401k, but wait, there's more. We're going to scroll down here because I think it's in here. Let me do 401k. Uh, oh, they got it in parentheses. Okay, let me just do 401. All right. So right here, when you're thinking about joining a company, it's important to understand that the benefits it offers and when you will be vested in certain types of benefits. If there is a company 401k retirement plan, for example, 100% vesting may be immediate or bestowed after 3 years of service. uh s- 3 years of service, say on a gradual schedule that increases your vested percentage for every year of employment with that firm. Note, however, that an employee's contributions to a company retirement plan are always 100% vested or owned by that worker. Read that part again. Note, however, the employee's contribution to a company retirement plan are always 100% vested. It say the employers and it say the match. But again, like I said, I've never heard of a 3-year vesting schedule for your 401k. All right. I've never heard that. So let's flip the other side. This right here is what I see in certain places. And what this is called is the profit sharing 401k. So you have your 401k, right? Where you may have a match. Then you have the cliff, then the vesting, and then you have the profit sharing 401k. You want the profit sharing 401k, right? And why D type in the chat, everybody else type in the chat, why do you want the profit sharing 401k? I went over this before, Heather. I know you know. I know you know, Heather. All right. So the profit sharing 401k. Profit sharing in a 401k that looks absolutely small, too small. Too small. Thank you. All right. The profit sharing 401k. Profit sharing in a 401k plan is a pre-tax contribution employers can make to their employees' retirement accounts after the end of the year. Do you hear the difference here? Do you hear the difference? Did it say anything about a match? It said, and I repeat what Martin Luther King 401k said. It said profit sharing in a 401k is a pre-tax contribution employers can make to their employees' retirement accounts after the end of the year. Basically, they do it every month, but it's from an employer's perspective. If you have been to this channel and you know we like these things. I don't know why people are telling y'all not to like these 401ks. They may be talking about the other ones where they're doing the 3, 4, 5, 6% match. But we like, and we like her, and we like her too. We like the profit sharing 401k. Okay. We like it when the employer contributes. Now, if some of y'all are saying, well, don't they do that in a match? No, 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 no. Not quite the same. Not quite the same, my guy. Not quite the same. All right. All right. So let's talk about it. Want to talk about it? Here we go. All right. So now let me do my thing. Do, 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 do. Let me pull it up. Come back, blue screen. Don't go away from me. Uh huh. Oh, it's gone. That's okay. We can go right here. It's gonna take it a little minute to come up, but we're gonna keep going. But I don't want to talk about it though. Mm, I'm gonna have to go online and get it. One second, my friends, because we're gonna get into it. This is important. I don't know why they out here telling y'all this stuff. Y'all need to know the difference. Okay, profit sharing 401k. It's when the employer contributes. Okay. So it says the contributions are tax deductible for employers for the previous year. This delayed approach lets employers access their finances before deciding whether or how much they want to contribute to an eligible employee's 401k. Why businesses like profit sharing 401k? Here, it's a bonus with tax benefits, the flexibility to plan your finances, take care of highly compensated employees, a reward that can vest over time, and no extra work if you offer a 401k already. All right. I'm gonna pull this one up in a minute, but hold on. Let's read. Popular formulas in 401k profit sharing contributions, along with the making the decision to offer a contribution after the year is over. You also need to determine how to allocate the contribution pool between your employees. To treat all your employees fairly and stay compliant with the IRS guidelines, offers two design based safe harbor formulas you can use to allocate profit sharing contributions, as well as a one non-design safe harbor formula. All right. When you decide to make a contribution to your profit sharing plan, you can do so by setting aside a pool of money that will be contributed across all your eligible employees. Let's say you decide to contribute a total of $10,000. Here are examples of how that would work. How they work with two design-based safe harbor formulas. A flat dollar amount method, and let me keep scrolling down, and a pro rata method. So the flat dollar method, this approach, which is also some referred to as the same dollar amount, is the most simple because every employee receives the same contribution amount. You can calculate each eligible employee's contribution by dividing the profit sharing pool by the number of employees and then contribute. So basically, you got a pool of money, and then they say, okay, if I got 3 employees, I'm gonna divide 10,000 into 3, and we're gonna contribute 3,300, right? 33, 33, 33, right? To the everybody's 401k. Or you could do the pro rata method. It means also known as comp to comp method. This approach allocates the profit share based on the employee's relative salaries, right? The company profit sharing pool is $10,000 and combined compensation of all three eligible employees is 200,000, right? As a result, each employee will receive a contribution 5% of their employee's salary. So instead of contributing at the 333, they got a pool and going from there. Basically, they're saying here they're going to take the 40,000 and basically they're going to take 40,000 basically multiply by 5%, right? Of that 200,000. They got 10,000 in this in on this 200,000 and they come up with 2,000. But notice when the employee's salary go up, it goes up too, right? So let's do our calculator here. Mm-mm. All right, so we got the cliff. We talked about that. And we got this one, 100,000. What's 5% of 100,000? We can kind of calculate that off the top of our head, but just to show you on the screen. Boom, times 0.05. No, not 0.0, not 0.5, 0.05. It's $5,000. That's really, I don't know why they went through this formula here to show you that. Just multiply 100,000 times 0.05. It's really what they were trying to show you right there. 10,000 divided by 200,000 is the 0.05, and that gives you how much they calculate. So pre-tax, they're gonna put 5% into your 401k, regardless of whether you invest or not. Now, there are some companies out there that do say 10%, 20%, 25%. So let's say you made $100,000. You made 100,000, and they say they're gonna put in 20% into your 401k. So that means every year your base salary increases. They're gonna put 20% into your 401k. Now, tell me in the chat if you like the percentage and the match. When I say percentage and match, meaning like, 3%, 4%, we're gonna call that number one. We're gonna call number two the Clifton Investing. We're gonna say number two, either one of those, or you like the profit share. And did you know all this information? Did y'all know this? So put in the chat. Let me know. All right. All right. So more about the profit sharing. Because I like the profit sharing. I don't know about y'all. And some of y'all may be confused. It's okay. You're gonna get it right today. You're gonna get it right today. All right. So let's talk about how certain companies work. Let me see. Why do I feel like this is not right? Yeah, this ain't right. Well, hold on. Let me do something here. Okay, cool. All right. So back to our 100,000. You know that magical number that makes everybody on the internet mad. And make everybody mad, pisses people off. You know that one. Okay, so let's talk about it. In certain companies, the profit sharing 401k works this way. Basically, they take your base, that's your 100,000, and they say, hey, we're gonna put in 25% of your 401k. Okay, cool. They're gonna put in your 25,000. You're like, that's nice to me. 'Cause we already know about that. Okay, but here's what you don't know. You see this line down here, and I hope you can see it well. Lines 12 and 13 are your friends. Them the homies. Them are the homies. Why are those the homies, Tamika? Because you don't get time off, right? Like if a holiday come up, no one cares about the holiday. You either work it or you gonna take off. So there are no holidays. You figure out you figure out what you want your time off to look like. And you have money in here for your insurance on a yearly basis. Now say you don't run up your insurance or you don't have, you're pretty healthy. You don't have that many expenses in your insurance, your vision, your dental, you all right, you know what I mean? But let's say you run up, let's say you use about, because what this number is, this line 8 is 25,000. This 13 and 14 comes up to, I mean 12 and 13 comes up to 25,000. So let's say you use about 5,000 of that, right? Let's say you use about 5,000 of that. So let's say you got $20,000 left, and let's go multiply that by 0.7. I'm just being loose with that. You get an additional 14,000 coming back to you. So not only do you get 25 put into your 401k, you get another $14,000 coming back to you. But wait, there's more. But wait, there's more. Because we're in 2024, we could do the employer and the employee contributions is 69,000. So let's do 69,000 because that's how much you can put in a total combination of employer and employee. Let's do minus 25,000 and let's do a minus 23,000. So you're left with 21,000 that you haven't maxed out in that contribution. But you got 14,000 that's coming back to you. So I'm showing you and telling you there are ways you can take a job like that and then make that money work for you. Now, you're like, Tamika, you say we should be going after the jobs that's paying 200,000. Okay, well, let's do it. Let's put in 200,000. They automatically putting in 50,000 into your 401k, which means you have 69 minus 50,000 means you have 19,000 left, right? So you could, depending on your base, you could be maxing out every year at 69,000 into your 401k. I'm just gonna keep it general, 69,000. I know Heather the spreadsheet is back. She back. I think it displays what we need, but let's take it even one step further. Because everybody is like, don't do it with the 401k. Don't do it. It's a scam. Uh, Hey, let me know if you think this is a scam. Let me know. So let's say every year you got $69,000 you're putting in, you know, you're gonna put in, I don't know, you could be generous and put in your monthly contribution of 1916 a month. But remember now, that 1916 is your contribution. The employer is putting in their contribution as well too. So we're at the 50k right now. Let's go here. Let's do the 50 divided by 12. 4,200. I'm gonna round it up plus 1916. Uh, okay, we're gonna round down. I'm gonna round down. I can round up 6,100. I'll be nice. I give her some love. 6,100 every month. Let's say you stay at the company 10 years. Let's say you get a rate of return with 8. We're gonna do a variance of 2, and then we're gonna do calculate that annually. Let's say in 10 years you're at 1.2 million. Mm, That ain't bad. That's in your 401k. But wait, there's more. There's more. You still had that $14,000 that's sitting out there that you may go toss somewhere in a high yield savings account, and maybe you put in a high yield savings account every month. Maybe you put $1,000 in there. I don't know. I'm just throwing numbers out. And let's calculate that. Right? That's 204. But remember, you're putting in 14,000 every year. So let's really add that up. That's about right though, right? So let's do 14,000 divided by 12. Yeah, so about 1,200. So I was right. So you putting away about 1,200. You could do more if you want to in a high yield savings account. Oh, we need to change that to 5% though, and calculate that. So about 203. So the other one's about what, 1.2. This one's about 203. In 10 years. I mean, that ain't bad. Well, I think everybody's like, be liquid, and don't buy houses, buy assets. So, which is a great question and a great transition, right? Let me know before I transition, did this make sense? Listen, you could go get a brokerage account. You don't have to put your money in a high yield savings account. You can go get a brokerage account. You can go take your money and get into the Magnificent Seven. You can go invest in aristocrats and kings. You can take that 14,000 and start throwing it into an IUL. You can go get an annuity. You can go buy land. You can go buy real estate. You can buy gold. You can buy silver. You can buy REITs. You can invest in ground floor. You can invest in a winery. You can invest in whatever your heart's desire. I'm just simply on the conservative side. Once you get started, build up your next egg on the conservative side. And once you get to the point where you got enough in your next egg, I say anywhere from 1.5 to 2.5 million, then go a little crazy. Cause now you could just let that 1.5 million and 2.5 million ride. Like if you work and you do the profit sharing 401k and you look specifically for those jobs, and I already pointed those jobs out, and you say, I'm gonna go ride this out. I'm at my 1.5 million, I'm at my 2.5 million, I'm gonna be a little risky. I know I got 30,000 coming up. I'm gonna play some options with my 30,000. I'm gonna play. You know what I'm gonna do futures. You know what, I'm being a little risky here. I'm gonna invest into this real estate fund. I'm going to go invest in this Bitcoin fund. Hey, I put 10,000 out there on Bitcoin, like Ethereum, some crypto. I'm gonna let it ride. But that's after you have set yourself up for the ultimate, right? That's how I look at it, right? Once you get to the point where you're like, okay, look, I see my future. I see where I'm at. My I'm not gonna even say your house is paid off. I'm gonna say you have a path, a free, clear path to pay off your house. But I mean, that's just me saying being conservative. Some people may think that's too conservative. I'm just pointing out that maybe this is something that we could do uh uh as we grow in the future, right? You could easily take, you know, part of your 401k if you wanted to, and say every 2 years you buy a property, because when in your 401k you can take out a loan to buy a house. A lot of people don't like people doing that because it's like once you take your soldiers off the field, they're not working for you. I get it. Some people are like, listen, that money in my 401k, I'm paying myself back 5% anyway. So I'm gonna take it out anyway, right? And I'm gonna start making those dollars work for me. So I'm gonna take out this get this money out. I'm gonna go put it on a down payment on a home, or hey, I may buy a mobile home, right? Like it's funny to me because I actually had looked at this. Dion got mad with me about this. I was looking at this house. It was literally in the hood. It was literally in the hood, and I was like, man, that house ain't but $7,000. It was right across the street from the corner store. I was like, man, let me get this house for $7,000, paid for everything. I was like, psh, I'm pulling in. It's 7 grand. I'm pulling in. Like, fix it up. Put you some look. Put you an electric fence up. And be good and be good. That's just my thoughts. I'm living in it, D. You talking about you can see about no, I'm living in it. D's like you ain't gonna live there. I'm like, put the spikes down, get the pits ready. Make sure the windows is bulletproof. That's what I'm saying. Down the earth, make sure the windows is bulletproof. Get the bulletproof door. Pulling up. All right. So that's one of my thoughts. Okay, so it sounds like y'all like the profit sharing 401k. Sounds like y'all like the profit sharing 401k. Now you know what to look out for. Right? Now you know what to look out for. All right. So this one. Let's get into this report. It came out June 2023. It talks about the wealth of households in 2021. Because me, I always want to know, well, where the wealth at? Where the folks at? Where they got the money at? Before we get into this, let me see. Right here. US household net worth grows due to gains in stocks and real estate. Now they'll tell you don't put your money in 401k. They're telling you don't put your money in real estate. They're telling you to go buy assets. And the assets is real estate. It's still gold, silver coin, oil rigs, REITs, whatever the case may be. It's still those things. But they telling you don't do it when Arrived Homes is owned by Amazon. When was it just BlackRock or Blackstone just purchased billions of dollars worth of real estate? You have Lennar Homes still building real estate out here, the number one builder in the nation. They telling you not to go do it. But you ask them where they money at. Ask them where they money at. Ask them what their money is invested in. They're not gonna tell you their money is invested in crypto. They're gonna tell you their money is invested in stocks and real estate. And they probably buying a certain type of real estate, but I got bet you real estate is on there. How much you want to bet? I'm trying to see what my article at. I'm gonna try to find my article here. I, 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 uh. Let's see. People tell you that. I'm just looking at I'm looking at these different articles. Hold on, I'm gonna pull it over here. Right? Because I don't know, it just bothers me. All right, it says 7 reasons why 90% of the millionaires in the US, this was in 2021, are invested in real estate, and you should be too, right? Now, this is from an article I found, right? But I'm gonna show you on my search engine side what I'm seeing. On my search engine side, this is what I'm seeing. Why real estate made me a millionaire. We had 3 million in real estate. Uh, why real estate creates 90% of the millionaires. 3 real estate stocks that can make you millionaires. Top 7 reasons why 90% of the millionaires invest in real estate. Where do millionaires keep their money? Let's go. Where do millionaires keep their money? Where do millionaires keep their money? High net worth individuals put their money into different classifications of financial and real estate assets, including stocks, mutual funds, and retirement accounts and real estate. I'm gonna read it again because I did you read what I read? I know, I know. We reading on the 6th grade level here, but let me read it again for those that are in the back. For those that are in the back, it states high net worth individuals put their money into different classifications of financial and real estate, and real assets, including stocks, mutual funds, retirement accounts, and real estate. There were 24.5 million, mil, 24.5 million millionaires in the United States in 2022, and 21% of them inherited money. Here are some places where genuinely rich keep their money. All right, let's go. They keep cash and cash equivalents. We know about that, right? That's why I mentioned the high yield savings account, the brokerage account, because you want to have some liquid. You want to have some liquid. Dry powder. Dry powder. Dry powder is not a gun. It's not nothing for a gun. It's dry powder. This is what we call it. Liquidity. We want to be liquid, fluids, right? Many and perhaps millionaires are frugal, and if they spent their money, they would not have any to increase wealth. They spend on necessities and some luxuries, but they save and expect their families to do the same. And they tend to establish an emergency account. Oh, the thing I talked about, right? Not for 6 months, but for 1 to 2 years. Up, we got to bring it back. Bring it back, Tam. Bring it back. 7 levels of wealth. They don't hear you. They don't hear you. You be talking to yourself like I'm doing right now. 7 levels of wealth. One is clarity. Let me blow it up a little bit more. We clear. We clear. One is clarity. Two, self-sufficiency. You moved out of your mama house. On my mama. On my hood. Right? And you can cover your own expenses. Three, you're saving some money and no longer living paycheck to paycheck. They can't hear me, Sadie. They too busy back there in the back thumb wrestling. They thumb wrestling in the back and pencil popping. Thumb wrestling and pencil popping. You know, you should get the pencil. You should walk up like, I got it. Right? They thumb wrestling and pencil popping and beatboxing. They don't hear me. Right? 4, stability. You had You have no bad debt and 6 months worth of expenses for emergencies. We got emergencies. Emergencies will arise. Like Usher say, situations will arise in our life, but we gotta be smart about it. I was gonna say something about him and Chili, but I'm not. Flexibility. You have at least 2 years of expenses saved. You could take off a year from work. We aiming for flexibility. We aiming for flexibility. 2 years off. I mean, a whole year off. Then I can come back and take two, and my money still making money because it's in a retirement account. And we gonna be a little conservative with our little high yield savings account. Let that little 5% go. Hey, I forgot to mention we can even do T bills and I bonds, but that's here or there, right? Number 6, financial independence. You can live off the income your investments generate. What? What investments? Talking about the money from that house. Oh, I forgot. I can't have that. That's not an investment. The money from the duplex. I can't have that money from the duplex. That's not an investment. I forgot. How dare I? And number 7, abundant wealth. Money isn't a concern. You have more than you'll ever need. And that's where we want to be. That's the goal. But first, back up, back it up, back it up, back it up. I need you to figure out where you are financially and where you want to go. Did you go do your homework? I know you did. You didn't go to the Social Security and look at how much money you made your entire life up until this point. I know you didn't. I know you didn't. Because if you did, you would have been like, man, I'm frustrated with creating this login on Social Security. I know you didn't. Go now. Open up a tab. Keep me on. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. Share this with your friend. Tell your mama she can't borrow all your money. Tell your daddy you ain't got it. Tell your brother you'll show him how to make it. Tell your sister you can't take care of the kids now. Tell your sister you gonna get them Christmas. You gonna get the kids Christmas gift. One gift that everybody can play with. One gift to rule them all. You said that log is in the log in is the worst. Yes. Yes, the login is the worst. They don't send you the statements like they used to, like how much money you don't put in Social Security. They don't do that no more. They used to. You should send you a statement. Now you gotta log in, go figure that out. All right. So let's get into this. All right. So we got that. We got that. We did that. Emergency fund. Um look, look, look right here. The magic number again keep coming up. Studies indicate that millionaires may have on average as much as 25% of their money in cash. Now look, we got 25% going into our our 401k, but then we got 25% of the money coming back. Now we got, and of course it's gonna get taxed, but we could take that money that's coming back and add to it and put it somewhere, right? So imagine, like, what would you do? Just type in the chat. What would you do if every year for the next 10 years you got back $30,000 coming straight to you in your check? So when you get paid, you get your regular paycheck which may be like, I don't know, 10, 15,000, and then they slap on 30 on top of that. So you're getting 40,000. Are y'all gonna go buy lottery tickets? And it's gonna be somebody out there that don't believe this. I'm telling you, they're gonna be like, she lying. Don't no company do that. Don't no company do that. There ain't no companies out there like that. She lying about that. Hmm. Don't no company do that. Maybe one ticket, you'll get your Louis V. You going to Gucci? Why y'all ain't going to YSL? You going to Italy to get you some Gucci? As somebody I know would say, you go and get you some Gucci. All right, look, because people don't be believing. They don't be believing. This company is called Zeta. It's a couple of them out there. Those that know, they know. Encourages employees to take time off. But if you don't take it, you going to get your money back, my G. You get 8 weeks of PTO. 8 weeks of PTO, 320, and paid time off, 320. And paid time off, 320 hours. So let's do some math on that. You know if you come here, we do math. I do math, you do nail. I do math, you do nail. All right. So 320 hours. So your 320 hours, you getting paid, I don't know, maybe 120 an hour. Maybe you getting paid, I don't know, 100 and let's do 110. We'll go in between. So that's 35,200, right? That's just sitting out there waiting for you, waiting for you to cash that on in, my friend. Waiting for you to cash that on in, my friend. All right. Where my Zeta go? Where my Zeta go? Here you go, right here. All right. So not only that, wait, there's more. Zeta gonna go ahead and take care of your basic life insurance, your short term, identity theft, secure travel, health advocate. Oh, we got even cancer insurance. And they also, because I know some people that work here, take care of your medical, dental, and vision. So this 25% that's sitting out there, back to our thing. All right. Back to our thing right here. This line goes away right here. You got 50,000 sitting in PTO. Now, let's play with a little number. I like numbers. Multiply that by 0.7. Yeah, so you could get back 35,000 every year. What y'all doing with that? You already went to the Gucci store. You already been to Gucci. Where y'all going? Don't tell me y'all about to go to Disney. I think they're going to Disney. I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. You want to tell me what's gonna happen, D? All right, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. First, first, when you get a check that come in, you got 35,000 plus, say you get 15,000 a month. And this is, well, let's do this. Yeah, this is all after taxes. So let's say you get a check for $50,000. But wait, there's more. The company also gives you a bonus of $2,000, so they come out about 1,500. Oh yeah, cause you was rocking it this year, to give you $12,000. So you get a check, a one-time check. Let's say you get this one-time check every year for $63,000. Now listen, this a scam, right? What are you gonna do? Like, you already got your bills is paid up, everything, but you get this one check. It's $63,000. What y'all doing? You gonna go buy the new iPhone? I'm gonna tell you what you gonna do. Y'all gonna go on a trip. You gonna buy the new phone. You may put a little down payment on a property. You might kick some to your family. Like, you know what? I'm a I'm a splurge on my mom and my dad. Or I'm a splurge on a relative or something like that. I get it. Then you was like, you know what? I always wanted that new TV. I'm gonna go buy the new TV. Oh, you know what? I wanted the new Mac. I'm gonna go buy me a new Mac. You know what else I'm gonna do? You know what? I'm riding first class on my trip. You gonna spend you gonna spend a good 25,000 on this. You're gonna be down to 38,000. You're gonna spend 25,000. This is after taxes. You're gonna spend 25. Cause y'all keep talking about your Gucci and your Louis bag. Y'all keep talking about your Gucci bag and your Louis bag. Y'all keep talking about it. Y'all out here spending 3,200 for your bag. Throw it in the bag. Just throw it in the bag. Y'all act like the dream. Y'all out here like the dream. Y'all gonna get you a shoulder bag, totes. What you getting? Backpacks. Backpack. What you doing? You gonna get a tote? Y'all gonna get this one? I hope you don't. I can't stand these. Y'all gonna be out here. Y'all a shoulder. You say you gonna get a shoulder. What you put in these? A phone and some lipstick and some mascara and a wallet. I see chain. I see half moon. I see bowling bags. You know, the little bowling bag. This the this the starter bag right here. This the 90 starter bag right here. This the 99 and the 2000 starter bag. This is what all the girls had in high school. This the this the starter bag right here. Girl, yeah, I got my Gucci watch. I got my Do you silly city girl classic? This is the starter bag. It's a starter bag right here. Let me see. Bucket bags for women. Let me look at it. Oh, this another one too. This one right here. That one right there. I swear every woman had one of them. I ain't never seen too many women with these right here. But this one right here, that little bag right there. Oh yeah, I seen those. Oh, here it is right here. The classics. It's the classic. So y'all gonna be out here getting you. I'm telling you, 25,000 gone. 25,000 gone. You gonna get a check for 63,000 and you ain't gonna know what to do with yourself. Cause 25,000 of it is gone. You probably gonna give you could probably gonna break your mom off about one or two. You get her a nice TV, get her a new wig, get your mom a new wig, get your daddy a new hairline. You gonna get some shoes. You gonna get you an outfit. You gonna get some expensive shoes. You gonna get you a new wig and your mama a new wig. You gonna go buy some makeup, some perfume. Fellas is gonna be like, oh, I always wanted that Challenger. I always wanted that new Tesla. I got 63,000. I can go buy me a Tesla in cash at 35,000. I'm gonna go get me a new Tesla. Yep, you gonna go, fellas. Y'all gonna go out and get a new Tesla. You gonna y'all city boys up, your passports up. You fly overseas. You about to go ball. Yep, SRT off the lot, off the lot. Like, ain't that? Hey, listen, fellas, I love y'all, and I said it correct. I love y'all. I love y'all. But let me tell you something, man. You can tell we ladies can tell. Your mama and your daddy can tell when y'all got some money. You know how we could tell when y'all got some money? Cause you walk in, your shoulders is up, your back is straight. You walk in like I got it, babe. I got it. Like ain't nothing. I got it. You were like, babe, that don't get that. That's top shelf. That bottle in the club is 250. We ain't gotta have that. I just want a couple of sips of, just get me two little mojitos and I'm good. Nah, They gonna see me. They gonna see me. You gotta have a girl bottle service. Fellas, I know you. I see you in the car dealership. I see you in the car dealership. Y'all be like, how much that gonna run me right there? Let me tell you something, fellas. Cause I done been to the car dealership with some of y'all. It ain't all of y'all, it's some of y'all. Don't go in the car dealership and be like, what the car note look like over there on something like that. Don't do that. Be cool, my G. Ask for a test drive. Take it out. See how you like it. You can do the mental numbers in your head. You know, if that joint say 114,000, the car note is not gonna be. And if you ain't putting down but $5,000, the car note is not gonna be 290. It ain't gonna be 600 either. It's $114,000 car. You got some interest to pay on that. So stop. Don't do that. So we got $25,000 gone. Now let's see what you could have done with that 25,000. I'm giving you 25 to play with. Cause I know you. You gotta get the bag, you gotta get the shoes. Fellas gotta get the special Air Force Ones, some classic shoes. You gotta get something classic to wear with the classic. You gotta get the haircut. You gotta get your boys. You gotta take your boys out. Like, yo, it's on me. You know what I'm saying? Without you, my dog, I wouldn't even have took this job. Appreciate you for letting me sleep on your couch until I got my first apartment, my guy. You looked out for a player. All right. So 25 gone. 25 gone. Now let's see what we could have did with that 25. What could we have done with that 25? We could have put 25 into our high yield savings account, added on to it every month, right? But we got to remember, this is the game right here. You got to remember, every year you may be getting that 63. It's all dependent on how you do your time off. How many of y'all gonna take time off? Because I know a lot of people say they taking time off. They're like, look, I need my time off. But what if you can work remotely 4 days out of the week and 1 day in the office? Are you taking time off? I don't know. You tell me. Everybody gotta have their time off. Yeah, I heard the high yield savings account was a scam too. I heard that too. It's all a scam. Listen, for those out here that's listening, if you think everything is a scam, get you a safe, put some money in a fire resistant safe, and just let it sit there. Just let it sit there. You could be like Tony Montana, right? So, all right. So remember, 63. What is that? Every once a year. Let's divide that out there. 63 is 5250. 63,000 is 5250. So 5250. I'm just saying, this is what I'm saying with this right here. Let's say you get $25,000 that you take off, you invest, but you got your 38,000 over there you still playing with. But let's say you get the 63 every year. You may do a one time lump sum investment, but I'm just dividing it up like you gonna make that contribution every month. But you gonna do it one time. So let's calculate that. In 10 years, it's $833,000. But let's say you did that with your $63,000. Put it all in there. Let me get my calculator going there. Come on, calculator. I know 63 and 525 ain't the same. Oh, that's what it said. 895. That can't be right. Huh? Let me do back up here again and do 25,000 and calculate that. Yeah, see, it's not acting right. All right, so let's go again. 63, 52, 50, 10 years, 5%, 2. We get a range. Okay, 895. But if it was up to 7, it'll be at 994. I mean, that ain't bad. 895 in 10 years. Now remember, you still got that other 401k that's going in at 69,000 a year plus this, right? All right, so let's go back. All right. Some millionaires keep their cash in treasury bills, T bills. That's what I talked about. T bills, right? They keep rolling them over to reinvest and then liquidate them when they need cash. Treasury bills are short term notes issued by the U.S. government to raise money and can usually get purchased at discount. When you sell them, the difference between the face value and the selling price is your profit. Warren Buffett, CEO of Berkshire Hathaway, has a portfolio full of money market accounts and treasury bills, T bills. This is not financial advice. These are just suggestions, things we're learning together along the way, right? Millionaires have zero balance accounts with private banks. They leave their money in cash equivalents. Real estate. Oh ho ho. Oh. Stock and stock funds. Next one, private equity and hedge funds. In order to do that, you need to be what? A accredited investor. This is why I always push for the 200 accredited investor. Do you think that you could get $1 million in assets over 10 years? Do you think that you could get $1 million in assets over 10 years? You buy 2 houses at 500. You can buy 3 houses at 150 and let it appreciate. So, loans from 401k to buy house. I'm not advocating for this. I just want you to know this is how some people do it. I'm not advocating. I'm just letting you know. Come on, Ad. Thank you. Typically, you can withdraw funds before 59 and a half. You occur a penalty. You can use 401k towards buying a house and avoid this fee. However, 401k withdrawal for a home purchase may not be the best for some buyers because of the opportunity cost. Again, your soldier's not out there working, right? You can leverage your 401k to buy a home, but alternatives for funding a home purchase, such as a mortgage program or saving up cash. You got to pay it back. There's also a Roth 401k where you can pull out money. You can withdraw contributions from the Roth 401k tax 401k tax and penalty free, but you must pay taxes on the earnings. Right? Now, again, like I said, some people do the 401k where they do 2 years in a spot and then on a loan, and then they pay it back, and then in another 2 years they buy another house. And then they just keep rotating paying that money back and rotating paying that money back. That's an option. I'm not saying it's the best, but it's an option. All right. And last but not least, commodities. Silver, gold, mineral rights, or cattle. Do they use financial advisors? Some of them use financial advisors. Some just talk to them for a minute and pay them for a fee, and then they're done with them. They don't stick with them the whole time. All right. So now let's go over here. The wealth of households in 2021. Because everybody keeps saying it's foolish. This foolish finance Friday. They say don't invest in real estate. They say don't put money in your 401k. They say you don't put no money in your HSA. And they say, oh, and don't let 401k be your only plan for retirement. Now let me ask you this. How many different plans did I show you from a profit sharing 401k that you could create? How many different plans did I show you from the 401k or profit sharing 401k that you could create? I know how many I counted. You tell me how many you counted. Besides buying your Gucci bag. Why y'all come up with y'all number? Because I know you got to be paying attention, man. Got to be paying attention, man. All right. It says key concepts and definitions. All right, here we go right here. Let's define what a household is. A household consists of a group of people occupying a housing unit together. Group quarters, such as dormitories, institutions, or nursing homes, are excluded from this analysis. The householder is a person who owns or rents the housing unit, i.e., the person whose name appears on the deed or the lease. Wealth is the value of assets owned minus the debt owed. Therefore, wealth can be negative, right? This is from who that? Who them peoples? I still didn't get my number D. Okay, from the profit sharing 401k, I showed you at least a minimum of 4 different ways you can make that money work. 5 ways. 5. All right, let's go. Okay. The 90th percentile is 1.6 million and up in dollars. The household wealth 75th percentile is 600,000. 50th percentile is 166, and the 25th is 16,000. I think most black people fall in between the 25th and the 50th. 25th and the 50th, but we about to find out. Okay. Now, this right here, this table, see if they give me. Okay, here it is right here. Let me scroll up here. The median, blah, blah, blah. Okay, the SIP collects data on many different assets types. The ownership rates and the median values of these assets are presented in table 2. In calculating median asset value, equity is the value of an asset net or any secured debts held against it. For example, the mortgage, I just lost it. For example, the mortgage balance is subtracted from the value of the home to calculate the home equity. Therefore, the value of these secure assets may be negative, right? May be negative, right? So let's get down into here. So the asset or debt type, we are talking about what are assets. What are assets? Because y'all keep saying y'all don't know what assets are. Don't invest. Don't do this. And we got to stop that noise today, right? Assets of financial institutions, vehicles, equity in homes, retirement accounts, stocks and mutual funds, business assets, other real estate, bonds, rental property, other asset holdings. That's the value of asset holdings. Unsecured debts, credit card and store bills, student loans, medical debts, and so forth and so on. But did you see how I just went down a whole list of assets here? Did you see that whole list of assets right there? Y'all need to take notes. Vehicles, because some vehicles appreciate, some hold their value. Knowing which vehicles to buy, right? After the value has depreciated in those, right? Equity in a home, retirement accounts, stocks and mutual funds, business assets, other real estate. Now, this is what I hear Dave Ramsey say, and a couple of other people that say this all the time. Dave's like, do not get a loan. If you get a loan for a house, make sure it's 15 years or pay cash. What I never hear them say is if you're going to pay cash, go down the route of tax liens. I'll never hear that. So if you're going to pay cash for your house and the average home is $400,000, and you say, well, don't buy the house that's $400,000 to me. Go buy the house that's like $100,000. You don't have to have you don't have to have the $400,000 house. Look, y'all like to stay in mega cities. Where y'all buying houses at that's $100,000 in the city? I want to know. Let's go to Dallas. Let's go to Dallas. What home are we buying? Are we buying a 3-2? We're getting a 3-2. We're getting a house. All right. For 150, you can make this work, right? Y'all making this work? You can fix this up. You can put about 60,000 into it. I'm just pointing out some stuff. I'm asking you where y'all staying at. This one don't look too bad. It's a foreclosure. Let's go look at the property. What has the property done over time? Woo! Woo! Look at that big dip right there. To date. Did it just get reduced? Look at that sharp decline. Look at that sharp decline. All right, let's go back. Cause I just be wanting to know where y'all gonna stay at. 170. This don't look bad. This look doable. This is doable. You put a little TLC in it, get the bathroom cleaned up. This is doable. Now I don't know. You gotta check out the neighborhood, check out the schools, the ratings. What's going on there? 1527 square feet. Y'all can do that. I don't know. Y'all gotta find out what the school rating is. Here, 200. They call this gentrification gray. That's what they call it. They call this gentrification gray. All right. It's doable. You get a yard back there. You got a big tree. It's doable. So y'all staying in Dallas? All right. So this is what I like to do. I like to go to high to low. High to low. 27 million. I mean 27 million. This gotta be a compound. Just like Dynasty. Just out on the putt putt. Let me see. Let's talk about it. It's an estate. It's located in the Preston Hollow Straight Lane corridor, offering the highest level of construction, timeless design, and grounds unlike anything seen in Dallas. This three-level estate is complete with an elevator, an expansive wine cellar, a catering room, exercise, media, three game rooms, a solarium, two offices, a golf simulator, a two-bedroom apartment, a two-hole regulation golf course complete with sand traps and water features, resort light setting with a pool, spa, and large cabana with full bath, fire pit, two ponds, and its own water well, an entertaining mecca for the most discriminating buyer, and one of the finest opportunities to come on the market found in the country today, just minutes from downtown. Highland Park Village, many private schools, and the premier shops and restaurants Dallas has to offer. I always start at mentions and work my way down. I'll be wanting to see what they're doing, how you living, right? I just be wanting to know. This may be too dry for some people. In my head, I'd be like, Dia tell you, in my head, I'd be like, now how can I set this up so when the zombie apocalypse come, I can make sure I'm all right. Where my doomsday bunker at? I like this room though. That's how I want to wake up in the morning. Like I can't even touch the walls. I don't want to touch the walls. Too modern for you? That ain't bad. That ain't too bad. Now here's a question: can you live in it by yourself? Can you live in this by yourself? 4.9, 6,000 square feet. Can you be in here by yourself? Heather said, "Yep." You can be in there by yourself, Heather. I hear you. All right, last one. What about this one? Ain't no water feature though that I've seen so far. This kitchen need to be redone. That floor gotta go. Yeah, see it back up. It's a little lot back up. Close to your neighbors though. But that's what you're getting in Dallas. So I hope you don't burn your 63,000. You said that's too much for you. The other one wasn't too much. I can't with you, Heather. I can't. All right. The IRS is sending 3.7 million special letters to the first time for the first time in 2 years. Why you shouldn't patent? Let's go. What the I and the R and the S talking about? They're sending out collection letters. And while no one wants to look in their mailbox and see a letter, from the tax agency. The letter doesn't mean you're being audited. Automated reminder notices resumed in January and are set to be delivered on staggered basis over the next several months. The notice is technically known as the LT38 will put on hold during the C-19 pandemic, but will be delivered to some 3.7 million taxpayers who have an outstanding tax bill for 2021 and 2020. So if you ain't paid up, you better get paid up. Gen X, Gen A, Gen A, Gen X, Gen A. All right. Expect to keep working longer than they plan and will be the first generation to go into retirement with less financial security than their parents and their grandparents. Oh, Gen X, the squeeze generation. Retirement in America is undergoing a generational change that needs to be acknowledged, and baby boomers age out of the workforce. Many continue to be sustained by traditional defined benefit pension plans. The next cohort, Gen X, will face new and difficult challenges, and many are not ready. I know because I'm also a Gen Xer, also known as the latchkey kid generation. You cook for yourself. You eat them let go my ego. You eat, let go of my ego. You eat hot dogs. You get a can of chili. You eat them on a regular bun. Ain't nobody got time to be. I'm not going to buy you no special bun. You gonna take that hot dog, you gonna boil it, and you gonna stick it on there, that ballpark Frank. Stick it on there. Get you some ketchup and onions, some mustard. You gonna make some Hormel chili. You gonna pour it on top. You gonna put your French fries in the oven. Don't you fry nothing in my house. You better put it in the oven. You are the pocket generation. Pocket. I bought you some hot pockets in there. It's some Hawaiian punch and some Tahitian treat. I bought some Kool-Aid, make you some Kool-Aid and sit down and shut up and don't open my door for nobody. I don't care who come to the door. I ain't sitting nobody over here. Sit down and shut up and answer the phone when I call. Yep, SpaghettiOs. We are the generation of PBS. We are the generation of contact is the answer. It's the secret. 3, 2, 1, contact. We are the generation of tuna fish. We are the generation of nutty bars. We are the generation of, I don't know if y'all remember these, the hubs. Those the little drinks, the little hubs. They used to be little colored water drinks. We are that generation. You had the key around your neck. We are the generation where glasses and your prescription and your glasses was this thick. If you had glasses, your prescription was this thick. You would turn to the side and your glasses, you could see the medicine in your glasses and the thickness in there. You are that generation. Don't forget Jolly Ranchers and Laffy Taffy and the big league chew. We also are the generation where we saw our grandmothers dip snuff. Yeah, my grandmother had snuff. She would like, baby, give me my spit cup. Tang, yep, the generation of Tang. We are the generation that knew how to take take peas, shuck them peas, pick them collard greens. That's right. The Vienna sausages and salmon patties. I listen. I thought. Listen, this no lie. I got married. My ex husband at the time, my husband at the time was like, "You like salmon?" I was like, "Yeah, salmon." Why? Because I got the salmon in the can. I had the salmon patties. And he went to the store and got some salmon. I was like, "What's that?" I had never seen salmon before. Like, why it look like that? Yep, your grandma did stuff too. Yep. Oh, did y'all eat liver cheese? Did y'all have liver cheese? We are the Oscar Mayer has a way. A fried bologna sandwich. When it bubble up, you gotta let it get the bubble. Hot links. We are that generation. Yes, we are the generation that probably had high blood pressure as children. Probably did. Neck bones, shine bones, collard greens, potato salad, macaroni and cheese, turnips, and collard greens mixed together. Homemade chicken pot pie, red velvet cake, 7 Up cake, chocolate cake, white icing pound cake. We are that generation. I did not eat pig feet. I didn't see the point of eating pig feet. I didn't see the point of eating what's the other one that everybody like? The pickle. I just never appealed to me to eat the pickle. I don't know why y'all got that funky pickle. That never appealed to me. Yes, grilled cheese sandwiches. We are the generation that skated, skateboards, and rode bikes. We are the generation that went outside and played. The boys and the girls played together. If they was out there throwing frisbees, the girls is throwing frisbees. If they playing football, we playing football. If they're out there on their BMX bikes, we on the BMX bikes. Nah, y'all don't get some of this, Cicely. Y'all don't get some of this. Y'all not considered the latchkey kids. We was the latchkey kids. We was the latchkey kids with Bob Ross. Y'all didn't have Bob Ross. You can't have him. You can't have him. He's ours. You can't have him. Y'all was not out here with Bob Ross. This was our guy. Pull him up, D. Y'all was not with him. This our guy. You can't get him back. Everybody was rolling with Bob Ross. Bob Ross was our guy. You can't have the Smurfs. That's ours. Gargamel, Azrael. You cannot have the Care Bears. That's us. That's us. And yes, we went to church on Sunday. And yes, we ate the peppermint from the bottom of Granny's bag or your mama's bag and Wrigley's gum and got the money and went to the store. And yes, we went to youth church. And yes, we had Sunday school. We are those children. But we're getting squeezed out, ladies and fellas. Gen X is getting squeezed out. That's why y'all got to get this money. You got to get this profit sharing 401k. You got to get this 200,000 so you can relax. Don't nobody want to be 75 sitting up there talking about now what's that command that I gotta that command in Linux that I gotta use to get that stuff out of that log file. What it is? We don't want that. We do not want that, right? The latchkey generation for our independent childhoods being raised by sets of parents by working sets of by sets of working parents. Gen X will be the first to reach retirement under the new paradigm paradigm. You know, people say that both ways. The the widespread move from DB plans to DC plans, defined contribution, or 401k plans, because they come from pension plans. And in the US, this is barely cited yet fundamental society change that shifted the responsibility to save for retirement from employers to individual employees. How we deal with the lies ahead for Generation X will set precedents for decades and generations to come. Why do I talk about getting your stuff ready for financial freedom? Because no one cares about anybody between the ages of 35 to 55. I'm even going to push it and maybe even say 40 to 55. They don't care. No one cares about y'all. I don't know if you know this or not. No one cares about your retirement. Nobody cares if you work. They don't care. I know if you paid attention lately. The shift promises to be difficult, according to recently released Schroeder's 2023 U.S. survey. 61% of the non-retired Gen Xers are not confident in their ability to achieve the dream retirement. That compares to 49% of millennials and 53% of non-retired baby boomers. And based on my conversations, the dream retirement for Gen Xers does not mean lavish holidays and private yachts. Like the little boy say, bullshit. All right. It means the lowest level of the minimum financial certainty to meet our changing needs as we age. Unsurprisingly, this generation is prepared to make do with less financial support from the U.S. Social Security. Facts. Just 11% reported they will wait to the age of 70 to receive the maximum Social Security benefit retirement payments. And 47% reported concern that the Social Security may run out of money, more than the baby booms at 38% and millennials at 44%. We found that 84% of Gen Xers respondents reported being concerned or terrified of not receiving regular paychecks. Many will need to keep working in retirement and hope they will be healthy enough to do so. Our retirements could be a lot less comfortable than they were before our grandparents. For many of us, the numbers do not add up. Gen Xers reported that on average, they would need roughly 1.1 million in savings to retire. Yet they expect to start working at about 666,000, a savings gap of 450,000. It's important to keep in mind that these are mean figures. According to a report from the National Institute of Retirement Security, and you all need to go read these reports. I'm challenging you to keep this in your in your what I want to call it, in your repertoire when you have to have a spirited conversation. Pull from these things. The average account in 2020 for private retirement accounts among Gen Xers is 129,000. This is woefully short of the amount most of us need to retire. The median account was far scarier, 10,000, and 40% had nothing. The luxury bucket list, you have no plans to retire? Blasphemy. Why you have no plans to retire? Are you trying to work till you 75? Or are you trying to say you're gonna retire, but your money is gonna keep working and you're gonna do part-time work? Are you gonna be 86 or 90 still going into work? Hmm. Oh, you have no plans to retire in America, but you're gonna retire. All right. Unless this is profoundly changed, many of us will not be able to maintain our standards of living retirement. Notably, our survey found that 45% of Gen Xers have not done any retirement planning. If you come here to this show, any show, you have done retirement planning. You know why? Because I talk about the three buckets. I talk about wills and trust. I talk about uh I talk about having your maxing out your 401k, your HSA. I talk about the emergency fund. I talk about getting your skills up. You shouldn't be walking out of this little YouTube channel without doing those things. I have talked about this. I have beat this. I have knocked this out the park all the time. All right. It says retirement savings for the top quartiles are substantial, suggesting that top earners will have little trouble transitioning to comfortable retirement, but those in the lowest quartiles reported having so little money saved there is little meaningful planning that they feel they can do. All right, so let's get into it. Why did I bring this up? Let's talk about it. Okay, so over this week, I also have seen out here in these YouTube streets, Instagram streets, where the ladies in Atlanta said, "Hey, we would not be dating a man making 50,000," and that struck up. If you went back and looked at that on Instagram on the Shade Room, it garnered over 60,000 responses. I was actually on another live this week, and everybody and the guys was like, you m- the max a man makes in the maximum that men make is 63,000 in their lifetime. The maximum. The maximum. I'm telling you how to get the jobs that are paying you 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, 400,000. Why are we stuck at this number of, really, let's be honest. Black women make 40 on average, not all, on average, and black men make 43. I did the calculation. You know how much money that is difference wise per paycheck? $200. That's overtime. Why are we stuck on the struggle? Why do we continue to contribute to we got to struggle before we can get together? I want to change the game. I want black men to thrive and black women to thrive, and then we come together. We are thriving together. Why can't that be the norm? Why can't we both be thriving and be the norm? Why? I want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. It makes me angry. Why do we have to struggle and prove that we can be together after we struggle? It don't make no sense to me. If you could get a job tomorrow that's gonna pay you on average for the next 3 years $300,000, would you take the job or would you say it's a scam? They said, "Hey, we need for you to move to Huntsville, Alabama. We're gonna pay you 300,000. We're gonna also pay for you to go to grad school. We're also gonna give you a sign-on bonus and a relocation fee." Are you gonna say I can't take it because I love him? Fellas, are you gonna say I'm not gonna take the job because I love her? What we talking about? We not taking money, but we not taking jobs. It just don't make no sense to me. Why are we arguing over $50,000? Why? I don't want to hear because that's what the average man makes. I don't want to hear that's because what the average woman makes. Why can't we change that stat? What's stopping us from changing the stat? I want to know. What's stopping us from changing the stat? Are we afraid to change the stat? If we change the stat, is something gonna happen to us? Like why can't we move the needle? What is the problem? And this is millennials, Gen X's, Zennials. On average, I'm around young young cats 21 to 24 making 100, 150. On the other side of the coin, on the other side of my life, we arguing with people at 50,000. I don't even understand it. Help me. I want to know. Sister said we had a good run, good game, coach. Good game, coach. Right? I went through that. Let's talk about it. Because on the other side of the map, we arguing about $50,000, and I just don't understand why. I think I want to do a binary hustles on that. I really do. Think I want to do a bond. This trauma bonding. This gotta go. Why isn't it okay that men and women both go to college? I asked this question last week. I'm gonna ask this question again. I'm gonna keep asking this question. Um, and fellas, y'all let me know. Do, do y'all retire from trades? Are y'all retiring from truck driving? Retiring from doing HVAC? Are y'all retiring? I mean, you may retire from the city. You may be doing city as my older guy friend would say, Mr. John. He would be like, they all in here, they all ain't nothing but city workers. He's like, they don't make no money. They all city workers. Is this where we're at? Is this our dream? This is how I look at it. This is me talking. I look at it like, man, all I see is all we could do is the best foot we could put forward is the max is at 50,000, and men max out at like around 63 to be truthfully told. If you go back and look in 20 if you go back and look 21 and 2020, the men between the ages of 55 to 59 maxed out at 49,000, truth be told. That was the max. And everybody's saying you can make a good living off of that. You could become a millionaire off of that. And I don't doubt that you could. I just think it's gonna take you a whole lot longer to do it. And I'm just saying, how can we cut the time down where it don't take as long to do it? That's what I'm saying. All right, let's get into it. My dad left me $450,000 in an IRA, but I'm in the 32% tax bracket. How should I structure my withdrawals? Hmm. My dad left me $450,000 in an IRA, and I'm assuming this is a traditional IRA, but I am in the 32% tax bracket. How should I structure my withdrawals? There are a couple of different set of rules. Let me make sure this is big enough. Yeah, that's good. There are a couple of different set of rules around inherited IRAs, and you're subject to the least flexible. While there are more options for a spouse or someone who is chronically ill or disabled or a minor child or someone not more than 10 years younger than a deceased IRA owner, you have 10 years to withdraw that money. 10 years, right? Typically, heirs open their IRA beneficiary distribution account, which must be closed by December 31st of the 10th year after the original IRA owner passed. But even with that deadline, you still got a few choices to make and rules to understand. Take it all now. Someone in the 32% tax bracket is earning between 191,000 and 243,000 in taxable income if they're single. So withdrawing 450,000 will push you to solidly past the 35% tax bracket and into the 37% tax bracket beyond an adjusted gross income of 609,000. While your exact liability you would pay depend on your income and other factors, you can expect your withdrawals to be taxed completely at the highest two tiers. Now, here's a question, and I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just asking, could he roll that money over into a trust, and put it into like a rollover account, let it grow, and then take the money out on in the 10 years out after that. Let it see if he could double the money and then take the money out. And that way he'll get at least the 450. But right now it looks like he gonna get, half of that, right? Half of that. No, not paid tea time yet. All right. So if you're married and finally jointly, the 37% bracket comes into play when your taxable income is more than 731,000. Being at 32% tax bracket now, this means that this strategy is less advantageous than someone who is filing single. Based on the disproportionate income thresholds, a higher portion of the withdrawals will be subject to the 37% tax rate. Now, why am I bringing this up to y'all? I'm bringing this up because some of you will have money left over in the 401ks, the IRAs, and so forth and so on. And you have to ask yourself, how will your heirs handle this money that is coming out of these retirement accounts? And how are you going to structure so they don't get the big tax bill and don't lose the money as well too? So how do you structure this? What is going to happen, right? This is something that needs to be thought about as well, especially for the men that are leaving IRAs and 401ks and whatever to their wife, and then vice versa for the wife that is leaving stuff for the husband. You're going to have to figure out how to reduce the tax bill or the tax burden on that family member or that significant other. All right. So, pros: take the tax hit now and invest the remaining roughly 300,000 in any way you choose. If you put the money in long-term investments, you could take the lower long-term capital gains tax, which ranges from 20% to 0% depending on the income, which lowers the effective tax rate on the money in the long run. Based on your income, you could likely face a 15% long-term tax rate. So this is what I was saying. put it somewhere else and let it just keep playing for like, 5 years, 10 years. And it says here, cons right off the bat, you're sending an additional money to the IRS. You also sacrifice 10 years of potential tax deferred growth within the IRA. You can force yourself into a higher tax bracket. On one end of the spectrum, you can opt to draw your payments over the full length of time allowed, or find somewhere in between the two. Consider matching with a financial advisor to discuss. Take it over 10 years. The longer approach means spreading your withdrawals out to keep the tax bracket and the tax liabilities down. While any growth of your account will be tax deferred, in the meantime, those gains will also be taxed at a marginal income tax rate when you do eventually withdraw. Pros: easy to keep your marginal tax rate low. You can reduce the risk of timing and market poorly on a one-time withdrawal. For example, if you say you're single and have a taxable income of 200,000 for 2024, and that IRA value drops by 50% before the end of the year, reducing the balance to 225, withdraw 43,000 at the 32% tax rate, then reinvest the money before the market bounces back. This effectively doubles your withdrawal for the year from 1/10 of the balance to 1/5, but keeps you in a lower tax bracket. That cash, I see that cash you withdraw can now grow at a slower long-term capital gains rate, also lowering your effective tax rate. Cons: the growth on the principal can be taxed and so forth. And then they go into different situations. I don't want to read the whole thing, but you get the idea. I'll give you this link because I think this is a good thing to also prepare for while you are in the uh preparing to set up your buckets, your retirement strategy, and so forth. All right, we talked about that. Mm, I don't want to talk about that. Let's talk about this. Let's go. Petty tea time. See where my time at. All right. This will be the last one. I got a couple of them, but this will be the last one. My husband and I divorced and bought separate homes. So they got a divorce and they bought separate homes. Now we've remarried and I plan to invest money in his home. Is that wise? Now, I'm going to read this again and then you all tell me what this sound like to you. My husband and I divorced and bought separate homes. Now we've remarried and I plan to invest money in his home. Is that wise? All right. I've already added a $8,000 California closet to the main bedroom of his house. All right, let's go. Dear Quentin, my husband and I remarried after 5 years of being divorced in October of 2019. During that time, we were divorced. I purchased a home in Louisiana. In March of 2020, my ex-husband had a construction built home in Georgia for 445,000. It's now worth 700,000. And let me blow this up a little bit. In December of 2020, we remarried. I contemplated selling my home in Louisiana and moving into his home. We plan to put the $200,000 proceeds from the sale of my house into major additions and remodeling of his house. I already added a $8,000 California closet to the main bedroom of his home. I have an adult son and my husband has two adult children. How do I protect my investments? in the aforementioned house if he expires or we divorce again. Don't do it. Keep the money. I also want to be fair to our children. If something happens after we both expire, he suggested we leave a will so the kids can split the property three ways. What are the best options? Here are the four I'm considering: putting my name on the deed, which he is willing to do, obtain a transfer on death deed, three, leaving a will with a change with which can be changed, and avoiding the probate altogether. Well, if you leave the will, she ain't avoiding the probate. Should I seek guidance from a financial advisor or a Georgia divorce lawyer? Thank you so much. So in the comments, I see y'all saying this is wild. I see you say, let's go ho. Second time around. Come on, Shalimar. All right, dear second time around. The safer, most transparent way to own a property together is for you both to be on the deed, as well as on the mortgage, and to write a postnuptial agreement dictating what happens to your assets should you divorce again. If you decide to do this, you should agree on the type of co-ownership agreement you enter into. Georgia has three main types of home ownership. For those living in Atlanta, here you go. Three different types of home ownership in Atlanta. One is a sole ownership, two, joint tenants, and tenancy in common. With the joint tenancy, with right of survivorship, you would each own an equal 100% share of this property. And if one of you died, the other would assume the full ownership, right? With the tenancy in common, there's no survivorship rule, and you can own a certain percentage of the property. That is, if you are investing $200,000 in a property valued at 700,000, you may decide to take 28.6% ownership in interest in his home. If you divorce, I don't see how that would serve either of you. Mm, mm, mm. Before the billion, what's going on? Georgia is a equitable distribution, not down the middle, not 50-50. That is not the same. Rather than a community property state, and Louisiana is one of the 9 community property states in the US. But anything you acquire before the marriage is typically treated as separate property in both places. Stuff acquired before the marriage, again, to protect that, you got to look at it like this too. Even though you acquired it before the marriage, if he or she invests in anything to that property, you have commingled that. So her put money into the property that he owns, she just commingling. All right. In Georgia, for example, assets that you have acquired during your marriage will be treated equitably, if not always equally. But you've been through divorce once, so you're up to speed on this. In Louisiana, assets acquired during the marriage are split equally, unless you have a prenuptial agreement specifying otherwise, or you're subject to a court order that will distribute marital assets in another way. Regardless of whether you live in Louisiana or Georgia, if you invest 200,000 in your husband's home, you will have commingled that asset. I've been doing this too long. I've been doing this too long. Regardless of if you live in Louisiana or Georgia, if you invest two in 200,000, because the 200,000 is an upgrade to the home. And even though he purchased it outside of the marriage, but after the divorce, her 200,000 going into it is now commingling. She out here commingling, right? So now once she commingles that asset, this is turned it from a separate property into a marital property. So while y'all out here singing, let me upgrade you, and fellas, you out here living in the house with her and vice versa, and y'all are like, ooh, let me upgrade you, and you go out there and upgrade his house, because your name ain't on the deed, even though you live there. You commingling. She has now, it's a marital asset. Oh, you thought you was safe. Oh, you thought you was, she live in my house. I'm the king. Oh no. She contributed to that, my guy. It's a marital asset now, right? Your question is, how should you commingle your assets? Not if you should not do it. Divorce versus dying intestate. Let's run through your options as you see them. One, putting your name on the deed and the loan would be a good start if he is willing to cede 50% of this property to you. Two, a transfer upon death deed is revocable and can be amended or revoked during the person's lifetime. Three, a will, as you suggest, is also subject to change. And four, you would avoid this property going through probate if you pursued the first option and put your name on the deed, because it's going to go to probate with a will. And now you got to pay taxes on that. And he got kids. And so those kids could be like, yo, F that. That's my daddy house. You just a renter. I wonder whether you mentioned a divorce attorney was a farting and slip. What if you do divorce? Would you be happy with having to split this property? Your home is your sanctuary and a source of financial stability. Tread with the caution before selling it and commingling your assets with your husband, regardless of how you go about this. And yes, make financial decisions with the advice of an advisor and a family law attorney. Another possible scenario, your husband dies in intestate, meaning without a will. Suppose the real estate does not explicitly state that it is owned as joint tenants with the rights of survivorship. In that case, it is assumed to be held as tenants in common. And according to Georgia inheritance law, it may need to go through probate process to appropriately transfer to the heirs or the beneficiaries. Don't make legal or financial decisions in a vacuum. Ask yourself why you divorced the first time around. Yes, people have remarried the same person and had it work out. While others have found they have the same or different problems the second time. Maybe your husband has changed, or maybe you have changed. I hope this time it works out. So the answer to the question is don't commingle. She's already done that, and they've already remarried. And so now he needs to make sure that she is a beneficiary, or they need to put that house in a trust so it does not go to probate court. But they want to leave something to the children, to his children, and to her child. She needs to keep the house she got in Louisiana and leave that for her child. Because he hasn't invested into that. And then they need to put that house that they have in Georgia in a trust, and let that sit there in the trust, and probably put some other stuff in the trust to handle the property taxes on that house as it grows over time. But that way it doesn't get sold. He can put that in the statement, and the kids can still stay in the house, and she's already part owner of that house because he commingled already. So that would, if if that is the case, that's how I would look at it. But we would have to get my name on the deed, or we could move out of that house and move into something else and just keep it and rent it out. But I know it's his dream home, so that's gonna be a hard pill to swallow. And I think his kids are grown. But that's my 2 cents. Drop in the comments below this video. Tell me what you're thinking. Get your hot pocket on tonight. Um After this video. I appreciate y'all. Be safe out there. See you later.